I was having this conversation a couple days ago about wealth and the idea of wealth,
Hmm.
and I thought it was a productive conversation. But what I realized or solidified is wealth is relevant to the person, right? Meaning,
Okay.
the conversation started with this. It's like, why do people who rent an apartment or whatever,
Hmm.
who live in, they don't own a house or property, but they
Hmm.
drive a BMW and have $5,000 whatever Gucci product. I don't know luxury
Hmm.
stuff. And I'm like, because in my opinion, they're obsessed with the trappings of wealth as opposed to real wealth. And that's
Hmm.
kind of how the conversation got started. But then I started thinking about myself. I was like, I'll wear the same clothes for well until I can't wear them anymore. Let's phrase it that way. Because to me, that's not important. But experiences are. I'll spend 10, 20 grand, 30 grand on an experience because that to me, I have nothing to show for it other than my personal experience
Hmm.
with it. That's wealth to me. Whereas other
Hmm.
people are like, oh, I need a bigger house, more land. I need a whatever. I need the 200. I need a Bugatti or whatever the fuck, right? So what is wealth? What? So I explain. Wealth to me is experiences, and I will say also comfort, because that was the other part of the question. It was like, well, a lot of dudes retire from law enforcement, they go and they jump into another job, and they're chasing that dollar bill. And I'm like, as long as I can have a place to stay, food in my body,
Hmm.
and I have that, it doesn't need to be big or anything like that. But as long as I can maintain my life, doesn't even have to be my lifestyle, just my life. I
Hmm.
will be okay. Might not be
Hmm.
great. Um, to me, that's more important than continuing to chase the dollar. But what does wealth mean or look like to you?
I think you're right. I think wealth is relative, right? So it depends on what I think. Wealth depends on what you find to be important, and can the finances that you have get you that, right? So when people say shit like money can't buy happiness, I'm like, that's bullshit. Money essentially is just a tool. Money is a tool, right? So I was having this conversation recently with someone, and I was like, I would say like in the last couple years or so, I said I feel like I'm the richest that I've ever been, right? But what I was saying that it was had nothing to do with money, right? Because money is not of that great importance to me, right? I think when people do things, it's about what is important to you and what you can get with the money, right? So, like you said, experiences are that for you. But like, if you couldn't have the experiences because of the money, you would feel like, oh man, I'm missing out because of whatever. Even if you did have you know like a BMW that was paid off or a house that was paid off, if you couldn't afford to like go have the experiences, you would feel like, I'm not where I want to be, or whatever. I feel like you feel like in some form of what do I call it, of lack. You feel like you're lacking something, right?
Yeah.
To me, I just need to have enough. To me, it's really about enough. And I think you said an important thing about some people being in the trappings of the dollar. Um, I don't have a lot. I don't seek external validation, right? So for me, it's hard for me to fall into the trappings of money in the sense of keeping up with the Joneses, or I got to have the latest thing, or have the latest thing, or whatever, right? For me, it's
Yeah.
like, oh, what I mean? I'll go spend a certain amount of money on a piece of workout equipment, or some products for like speakers or whatever, because those are the things that bring me joy. I want to buy more things that bring me joy that I need. Going on a trip, having a nice dinner, buying better fucking food products so I can cook better, and then like shit like that. So I think it is relative to what you find to be important. It was and if money is one of those things, I think you'll never be able to have enough of it if it's not, because it's an external thing, right? I think this was J. Cole was talking about this on an interview. I think it was Angel Martinez. It's like if a lot of your shit is external, it's like you'll never have enough of it, right?
No.
So if it's cars, if it's this, if it's specifically like money, like you'll never have enough money to be quote unquote happy if that's your deal. So I think it is relative, and I think what's the saying? Money doesn't make you. It just makes you more of who you are, right? So when like people have it, so like if money wasn't an issue, what would you be doing?
Yeah.
You're like, if I hit the Powerball, like, are you gonna quit? I'm like, no, I like what I do. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna quit. I'm not gonna quit. Now there'll be signs. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like I might look a little different while I'm doing it, but I would still be doing the same thing. And that's what I mean by like, I feel as rich as I've ever felt because for the most part, I'm doing, there's really not much that I'm doing that I don't want to be doing.
Yeah.
Like I'm pretty much doing everything that I want.